F1 2025 season explodes. Red Bull's dominance shattered as rivals close in. The Formula One world is in absolute chaos right now, and if you haven't been paying attention, you are missing the most dramatic start to a season we've seen in years. What we thought would be another Red Bull runaway has turned into an all-out war, and the power dynamics of F1 have completely shifted. Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari, Max Verstappen's struggles with the new RB21, and McLaren's meteoric rise have created the perfect storm for what could be the most competitive championship battle in F1 history. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into everything that's happening right now in Formula One, and trust me, you do not want to miss any of this. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Lewis Hamilton is finally wearing Ferrari red, and the images alone have broken the internet. After spending his entire career at Mercedes, winning 6 of his 7 world championships with the Silver Arrows, Hamilton made the shock move to Maranello, and the early signs are absolutely electric. Testing footage shows Hamilton pushing the SF25 to its absolute limits, and Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur has been smiling more than we've ever seen him smile. The chemistry between Hamilton and Charles Leclerc is surprisingly positive, despite many predicting fireworks and tension between two alpha drivers. Hamilton has been praising Ferrari's work ethic, and the Italian media is treating him like the savior they've been waiting for since the Michael Schumacher era ended. Ferrari hasn't won a drivers' championship since Kimi Räikkönen in 2007, and the pressure on Hamilton to deliver is immense. But if anyone can handle that pressure, it's a 7-time world champion who has nothing left to prove except one final glory run in red. But here's where it gets interesting. While everyone was focused on Hamilton's move to Ferrari, the real story might be what's happening at Red Bull. Max Verstappen has been unusually vocal about the RB21's performance, and that's setting off alarm bells throughout the paddock. After dominating 2024 and winning his 4th consecutive world championship, Red Bull came into 2025 as favorites, but the new regulations have hit them harder than anyone expected. The RB21 has shown concerning rear-end instability through high-speed corners, and Verstappen has been struggling with understeer issues that he simply cannot dial out. Adrian Newey's departure to Aston Martin is already being felt, and Christian Horner is doing damage control in every interview, trying to downplay concerns, but the body language tells a different story. Sergio Perez is having an even worse time, and rumors are swirling that Red Bull might make a mid-season driver change if results don't improve dramatically. The team that seemed untouchable just months ago is suddenly vulnerable, and the rest of the grid smells blood in the water. McLaren is the team that's really turned heads this season after their incredible resurgence in 2024, where they challenged 4 wins and secured multiple podiums. They've come into 2025 looking like genuine championship contenders. Lando Norris has been absolutely flying in preseason testing, posting times that have shocked even his own team, and Oscar Piastri is proving that his rookie season success was no fluke. The MCL39 looks planted stable and ridiculously fast through the technical sections, and McLaren's development rate over the winter has been extraordinary. Team principal Andrea Stella is playing things cool, but insiders suggest McLaren believes they have the car to beat this year. Norris is hungry for his first championship, and at 25 years old, this might be his best opportunity. The pressure is on, and McLaren knows they cannot afford to make the strategic mistakes that cost them victories last season. If they can execute cleanly, McLaren could be lifting trophies that Red Bull has monopolized for years. Mercedes is the wild card nobody's talking about enough. With Hamilton gone, many wrote off the Silver Arrows as a team in transition, but George Russell has stepped into the #1 driver role with absolute confidence, and their new signing, Kimi Antonelli, has brought fresh energy to the team. Toto Wolff has been uncharacteristically quiet about their championship aspirations, but Mercedes has a history of bouncing back when people count them out. The W16 looks like a completely different philosophy from previous years, with Mercedes abandoning the zero-pod concept entirely and going for a more conventional approach. Russell has been fastest in multiple testing sessions, and he's making it clear that Mercedes isn't ready to hand over the crown without a fight. The 8-time Constructors' champions have the resources, the talent, and the motivation to prove that life after Hamilton doesn't mean the end of their winning ways. Now let's talk about Aston Martin, because this is where things get really spicy. Adrian Newey joining the team is the biggest technical signing in decades, and while he won't have full impact until 2026, his influence is already being felt throughout the organization. Fernando Alonso is still driving like he's in his 20s, and at 43 years old, he's showing no signs of slowing down. Lance Stroll is under immense pressure to justify his seat, and if he doesn't perform this season, there are whispers that Aston Martin might bring in a big-name replacement, regardless of family connections. The Amaratu 5 looks aggressive fast, and designed specifically around high-speed circuits, where Alonso has always Lawrence Stroll has invested billions into this project, and patience is wearing thin. Aston Martin wants podiums, they want wins, and they want them now. With Newey's genius combined with Alonso's racecraft, this team could be the surprise package that disrupts the established order. Ferrari's resurgence isn't just about Hamilton, though. Charles Leclerc is entering this season with a chip on his shoulder after years of strategy, mistakes, and mechanical failures cost him potential championships. The SF25 is reportedly the most balanced Ferrari in years, and Leclerc has been vocal about his confidence in the package. Having Hamilton as a teammate could either elevate Leclerc to new heights or create the kind of internal team warfare that destroyed Ferrari's 2007 season with Alonso and Hamilton. Fred Vasseur is managing this delicate dynamic carefully, knowing that both drivers need to be firing on all cylinders. If Ferrari is going to end their championship drought, the Tifosi are desperate for success, and the pressure at Maranello is unlike anything else in motorsport. If Ferrari can avoid shooting themselves in the foot with strategy blunders, they have the driver lineup and the car to genuinely challenge for both championships. The midfield battle is absolutely stacked this year too. Alpine has made significant strides with Pierre Gasly and Jacques Doohan forming an exciting pairing. Williams has continued their upward trajectory with Alex Albon leading the charge and rookie sensation Franco Colapinto making waves. Haas is punching above their weight class again with Nico Hülkenberg's experience guiding their development. AlphaTauri, rebranded as Racing Bulls, is showing promising pace, and Yuki Tsunoda is finally getting the recognition he deserves. Alfa Romeo Sauber is preparing for their transition to Audi in 2026. But they're not just making up the numbers this year. The competition for points is going to be absolutely brutal, and every single position could matter when championship standings are decided. The regulation changes for 2025 have mixed up the pecking order more than anyone anticipated. The new technical directives around flexible bodywork have hit some teams harder than others, and the development race is going to be crucial. Teams that can adapt quickly and bring effective upgrades will gain massive advantages, while those who get their development direction wrong could fall backwards fast. Red Bull's usual advantage in season development is being questioned, and that's opening doors for rivals to capitalize. Mercedes has always been strong with upgrades McLaren showed last year they can develop rapidly, and Ferrari has the resources to throw everything at this championship fight. Driver market speculation is also heating up, with several seats potentially opening up for 2026. Carlos Sainz's move to Williams has been confirmed, but rumors suggest he might have an exit clause if a top team comes calling. Sergio Perez's future at Red Bull looks increasingly uncertain, and names like Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda are being floated as potential replacements. Esteban Ocon's Alpine contract situation is murky, and he could be on the move. The driver carousel never stops spinning in F1. And this season's performances will determine who gets the golden seats for years to come. What makes this season so compelling is that for the first time in years, there's no clear favorite. Red Bull's dominance appears to be cracking. Ferrari has the superstar driver they've dreamed of. McLaren has the momentum and the machinery. Mercedes refuses to go quietly. 5 teams could realistically win races and possibly even challenge for championships. The last time F1 had this level of competition, we saw some of the greatest racing in history, and all signs point to 2025 delivering the same drama, chaos, and unpredictability. Every race weekend is going to matter. Every qualifying session could swing championships, and every strategic decision could be the difference between glory and heartbreak. This is why we love Formula One, and this season is shaping up to be an absolute classic that fans will talk about for decades. The lights go out soon, and the battle begins. Who's your pick for champion? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because you're going to want to follow every twist and turn of this incredible season.